The personal information of thousands of Utahns who were tested for COVID-19 may be in the wrong hands after a massive data breach.
Well, that's not good. An internet security firm discovered the breach involving Premier Diagnostics. Fox 13's Diego Romo spoke with the editor of Comparitech, which first reported the possible breach.
Comparitech's investigation found that Premier Diagnostics was storing their customers' personal information on a publicly accessible server that was not protected by a password.
This data could be in anyone's hands now, so your ID, your medical card are probably somewhere on the dark web.
Lehi-based Premier Diagnostics operates 11 COVID testing sites across northern Utah. In order to get tested, customers must submit front and back pictures of their insurance ID cards, as well as driver's licenses, passports, or other forms of ID.
They take a photo of your ID, the front and back of your ID, and the front and back of your medical insurance card. They had stored all that data on a server that was publicly accessible online without a password.
Meaning anyone with the know-how, like cyber criminals, could easily access all of that personal and private data.
We don't know for sure that any malicious parties got to it, but we've run honeypot experiments before where we see activity on that sort of unsecured data within a matter of hours, and it took them a few days to get it secured.
Comparitech found that roughly 52,000 Premier Diagnostic patients are affected by the possible breach.
The data was finally secured on March 1st. So we know it was exposed between February 22nd and March 1st.
Giving internet thieves plenty of time to get their hands on the data.
It's low-hanging fruit. It's really easy. They use the same tools that we do, that we use to find the database in the first place. They use the same tools to find it and steal it.
Bischoff says luckily there was no payment information tied to the database, but is concerned about the possible leak of thousands of patients' medical insurance ID cards.
Medical insurance fraud is a crime that people can perpetrate using someone else's insurance, basically identity theft.
If you received a COVID test from Premier Diagnostics, Bischoff recommends keeping an eye on your medical bills for any suspicious charges. Premier Diagnostics has not responded to our requests for comment on the issue. In Salt Lake City, Diego Romo, Fox 13 News, Utah.